Well, that's fun. It spawned me inside of a log pile. Can I get out? Oh, I can get out. All right. We're good. Welcome back to Infinite Rails, folks. I'm actually on a whole new map. I wasn't super happy with the map I did the first video on, and I wanted to make a longer run between the sell point and the logging operation. So I started over on a new map, and I've been playing along. I've been learning a lot, too. Turns out there's third person, there's a map. There's some stuff I missed in my first little foray into the game. So if you hit E, it goes to shop. There's a little tab here. It was going to shop. There's a little tab. Yeah, look, we have a map. So I started over on this map, and I've got a logging camp up here in the mountains, and we wander our way down across the plains, and we have a sell point over here. And I've been churning out the money, and we've got just almost enough for a sawmill. So in this video, we're going to build a sawmill. I kind of want to build it over here by the lake. So we'll kind of figure out a place over there, and we'll get some track laid in for that, because once we can sell boards, we can make a little more money. Oops, no, continue. There we go. Another thing I learned, there is third person if you're in the locomotive, and the scroll was backwards by default. So I had tried scrolling out. So scrolling down on the wheel, most games that's scroll out. That was scroll in, so it wasn't doing anything, but I changed that in the options. You can reverse it. Now if I scroll out, look at that. We got a third person view. We have all of our controls here. Pretty cool. Does the horn not work if it's off? Oh, fun. I guess it needs air or something. But anywho, I've got a reverse loop at each end just to make things easier because I was cranking through the money. We're going to head on down to the sell point and get the last little bit of money we need for the sawmill. It costs 60K. And then we'll go build that. So let's head out. We got our brakes off. Take off our handbrake. We'll get on out of here. Oh, looks like I have no game sound coming through. Nice. Let me fix that. My computer's been doing that lately. I don't know why, but it passes audio over HDMI over to the recording PC. And it's... Oh, we didn't put it in gear. Making all the mistakes. And sometimes it just quits working. I don't know why. So I had to smack it around a little bit, and now it's making sound. So yeah, the third person is nice. And then if you want to quickly get back to first person, you can just hit E or F. And then hit it again, and then you're back in first person. That's my little shortcut. Also, there is no fuel gauge that I've seen, but if you're in the cab and you look right up here, you can mouse over the fuel, and it gives you that. Then, of course, if you're in third person, you have a fuel gauge. That's handy. When I made this track, it left all the stumps in the air, so, you know, early access things. It's going to happen. These stumps you can just clip right through, no problem. Also, it seems like this is a little noisier. Why is this noisier? I did that on my other game. Something happened. Turn this down to like 40. Apply. We'll try that. It gets a little loud. Anytime you do anything, it puts you back in first-person mode. Which can be handy if that's what you want. Now, there is one kind of mistake in the track here. You'll see as we come around the corner. It's a little steep. Right here, it's got a little bit of a sharp drop off. The switches do automatically align themselves as you go through, which is nice. But I learned a lot more about laying track when I redid this map. There's lots of various options. All right, let's get some speed on. I'm going to get on down to the selling depot and make some money. As far as I know, you can't derail. I've done things and it's never derailed. So when you're placing track, you got to make sure the settings are right so it lays it, the ends can be on the level or they'll follow the existing curve. We'll cover that some when we build the sawmill tracks here in just a bit. So this just kind of wanders down through off to the plains. So I'll see you down at the sell point. Whee! All right, we're getting close. You can see on the map, you can see yourself moving. It's nice. Sorry I didn't discover that in the first video. All right, let's come back on the regulator. Get some brakes in. Oh, no, we're not quite where I thought we were yet. I usually start braking as we come around this corner here. We weren't quite there yet. I kind of wish I'd turned the animals off, because there's like random elephants and stuff. It's just kind of strange. I don't know that you can turn those off after the fact. Alright, let's start slowing down as we come up the hill here. Sell point is right up there. Slow down to about 20 as we come in here. It'll make it easier to stop where I want. It does take a little bit of time for the brakes to release. There's a little bit of air brake simulation going on, which is cool. Here we are. Slide to a stop. And we'll go ahead and use the loco brake here to get us all the way stopped. And then we'll go ahead and put that in neutral. I think I'll just go ahead and turn it off. Get this thing unloaded. Make our last little bit of money. I do wish you could like batch unload. This is kind of cool the first few times, but after you've done it like 20 times making money, it gets a little old. Even if it costs you a little extra money to have it auto unload, I'd be all for it. But we'll click you through. What's going on? What's your name? George? You look like a George. You can see once we can make boards, get quite a bit, much more per ton. I don't know what the ratio is between like, 6.4 tons of logs, what the standard load is. It'll be interesting to see what we get for 6.4 tons of lumber, or how it converts. That's what I meant to say. Thick. There we go. I've been unloading them all and then just run through and sell them all at once. And I noticed when I was really cranking through these, I was just going back and forth. I would get back here with another load and there'd be like, sometimes there'd be a few logs left. They don't always sell right away. Seems like they kind of trickle out. At least sometimes. Yeah, there you can go. It's selling. It sold the first one. The others are just kind of sitting there. It says sold. Takes a little while for them to process through, but we now have 64K, which means we can go to buildings and we can build a sawmill. Let's go do that. Also went and put in a reverse loop here when I was selling, just to make it easier. All right, off we go. I thought about buying another car to make more money, but cars are expensive. Like this car that we have is 35K. So I decided to just wait. And we'll just build a sawmill, start making money that way. There is a turntable. I would like to get a turntable down at some point. We'll do that somewhere. Alright, I'm going to motor around this curve. And I'll see over where we're going to potentially build the sawmill. We'll get the location for that figured out, and then we'll build some tracks up to it. So I'll see you in a bit. I saw on the map you could put down a waypoint. It only shows up on the map, and you can only see it if you zoom way in. Thought maybe it'd show over here, but it doesn't. No biggie. But like it says, hold to menu. So if you're on the map and you hold down left mouse, you can teleport or you can add a waypoint. If I do over here, can I delete it? Yeah, delete. All right, cool. There we go. Oh, get out of the map. Whoa, stab. All right, regulator off. Let's get some brakes on. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. That was a lot of squeaking. Let's see, where do I want the sawmill? Let's go figure that out. Yeah, I'm going to go to fly mode. So I kind of wanted to build like a little Y maybe to get to the sawmill. Wonder if that's gonna... Yeah, I probably need to pull my train on through a little ways. I wondered if I could put like a switch here and a switch over here, make a little Y that goes over to a sawmill over here somewhere. Right where where the cow is. All right, so we bring that up. We go to buildings, sawmill. Ooh, that's a big sawmill, isn't it? So I kind of wanted that in the water. If we did something like this, I wish we had the terraforming. Be a really good opportunity for some terraforming. Rotate that. Bring this up. It'll look kind of silly because those logs are going to be floating in the water, I think. Wonder if I could build some track here and like lower the ground. Is that a thing we can do? What if I did this and I just said, okay, I want to... how do we rotate? Ah, just like that. Okay, that didn't lower it very much. So if I go here... Let me experiment here a little bit and we'll figure this out. All right, tracks. Can't adjust that. It just goes off the land. Like where the land is what it looks like. All right, so we'll do this though. That lowers the land. I wish we could do a toolbar, but it's not hard to select, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, so we'll use this as our terraform tool. We'll see if I can get some of this lower down so the sawmill maybe makes a little more sense. So can I get rid of that? I can't. I like that you can delete the scenery elements. That's handy. All right, so we'll do this, and then we'll come over here, get that lowered. Now we can come over here and we get this lowered. Not perfect, but it kind of lets us do what we want to do. That. So, like, most of the tech looks like it's here. They just need to build some tools that let us easily do this. And I read somewhere, I think on the Discord, or maybe one of the tooltips, that they do want to add more terraforming options. So that's cool. All right, so let's destroy that. And then if we go back to buildings, sawmill. Now what can we do with the sawmill? Kind of freezes. It won't let you put it out in the water, which is fine. Just be aware it does like freeze on you. So now I could kind of have that stuff sitting. Not so much on the water. Or like in the air, I mean. Let's try that. 60K. All right, we got some wood kind of in the water. Yeah, it's not terrible. All right, I remember finding I figured out a way to find the elevation. Elevation 0 degrees. No, that's not what I wanted. Hit X, I'll just fall out of the air. I remember there's some way I saw the elevation. I don't remember what it was now. We'll figure it out. All right, so now I need to get over to here in some kind of a Y configuration. So let's figure that out. I think I will. Let me move the train, and then we'll start putting in a little Y here. I'll be right back. Okay, our train is out of the way, so let's get our destroy tool, and I don't remember for sure. Okay, that actually works out pretty decent. I don't remember for sure where the tracks were. All right, so if we bring up our rail tool and we link it onto here, we have several different options here on the upper left. So M is pretty straightforward. It's either a curve or it's straight. Now the elevation, horizontal ends, and the height leveled was what kind of tripped me up for a while. So if I hit L, let's say by terrain, what does that mean? It's a great question. It kind of goes hand in hand with the height. If I say elevation terrain, I come out to here, it will be straight and level, but I can also change the height. And then the elevation is like the ends of the, I don't remember. Yeah. So see how it's kind of changing a little bit there? Basically, if you have horizontal ends, the ends of the track will be straight and they'll be horizontal. Whereas by terrain basically means the end of the track is just at whatever slope it happens to be at based on how you're raising this. If that makes sense. I'm probably not explaining it very well, but that's how those two work together. And then you can have adjusted. And the height will just kind of go based on the terrain. So you set this number and that's how far above the terrain it is, kind of. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But anyway, I'm going to do horizontal ends because I think this is this straight here? And then I want to do height level. So I want this to be level. I want it to go to about there. Oops, wrong button. Come on. And if we come over here and we plop down, oops, that's not where it must have accidentally hit Alt. So Alt X will take you back to your player position. X should just drop you where you are. It's weird. Oh, if you're in the loco, does that make I guess that makes a difference. I'm outside the loco and hit fly mode. So there's my character. Come over here and hit X. I should just drop right here. Okay, so that behavior changes when you're in the loco. I'm still learning things about this game. For some reason, each tie has a collision, so we're going to vibrate our way over here. All right, back into fly mode. So I want to make I think I'll do a shorthand. Should we do long? Let's go take a look. So if we have the left, then we have the small left. So if we do this. Yeah, that should be fine, I think. And then what I want to do is kind of make a Y here. I swear there was something that told me the elevation. But I don't remember how I got there. Anyway, figured out. All right. M to curve mode. And then I kind of wish we'd have a line or something up because you can't see where it's actually placing it. You see if I go all the way over here, it says minimum curvature reach. So you can't go any tighter than that. Let's kind of just eyeball it and go there. That's probably a little, that's a little aggressive, isn't it? Well, we kind of need to be that aggressive because we're going to be coming off of there. right, let's do this. Let's go here. And can I reach all the way over to this one and line up? Good if I wanted to. So let's hit that. Oop, that didn't do what I wanted to do. It's too far. I didn't have it on the right. Do that. I want another leg of the Y coming off, but I want to kind of turn that direction first. So let's go to a rail tool. We're in curve mode. We're in kind of level. So I'm just going to eyeball it like we're sending it over that direction. And then I want to get a switch off of here. So I'm just eyeballing it. Let's go like that. We're going to go to our right. If we do that, yeah, that's okay. Sometimes it's hard to tell from the air if you're actually going level like you think. Now we can kind of come over here and play around with this Y a little bit. So we want to be about here-ish. I'm going to go straight for a bit. There's a method to my madness. We're going to come back over here to a right hand. And then if I get rid of this, I hook these up. That's not terrible. Sort of a Y. Then we need to start coming back over this way. A little bit. And then I don't know where we're at connection-wise to here. Yeah, that's quite the sharp drop-off. See if we can make this work. So I want a left. That, oops. And then we're going to go to our rail tool. And you got to watch. I tend to move too quick, so make sure you click, let it connect, and then move. And if we do that, like how terrible is that? Let's take a look. That is quite the slope. We got kind of a hillside here. Let's roll with it, and we'll see if the train can actually pull it out of there. It's not the most powerful locomotive in the world. Let's do parallel tool. See how that works. Link that up, and then we don't have enough room here. Fair enough. I do wish you could delete just part of a, say, delete from here to here. It doesn't let you do that. So let me try something. Let's do that, and then let's go here. I'm going to do straight. Then I'm going to go down to start dropping down. %1.5%. No, let's do. I'm looking up here in the upper left. Let's do 1% like that. And then we'll take our rail tool. We'll hook up to that one. Now if I do my parallel tool, up to that. That's maybe too sharp. That's probably, oops, I moved too fast. Yeah, that's almost a little too sharp, isn't it? Let's do this. Let's get rid of you. Let's get me out of the way. Forgot to do the small turn out there. So I want the small left. There we go. Then let's get rid of that, and then we'll hook you into here. You into there. There we go. So that works pretty well with the small turnout. Then it goes down. And we want to be normally going this way, I would think. I want to hook both of these up. I don't know that we need to right now, but we already put the turnout in, so fine. Let's do that, and then I like to have a little bit of a buffer here so we can run off the end of the track, because you know me. You know how I drive. So if I come out to, say, here, and then I come up 2%, what's that get me? Right to there. It's not bad. And then it's got a little bit of an uphill, kind of slow you down. So then if I do a parallel track, say, hook me there. That parallel track works pretty well. I like it. We can just throw some bumpers on here. Excuse me. Got a little frog throat going on today. Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's a thing. So then what happens if I do this and level that out? Does it get rid of that tree? It does. Here we go. Now we have a sawmill connection. Let's see if we can make some money with our sawmill connection. How about that? I like that idea. We got a little bit of an oopsie there, so let's go back to our recarve tool. Kind of lets me do some of that. It seems like there's always a little piece here that you can't do. I don't know what's up with that. There we go. Like it almost never happened. So what if I did this? What if I said go across here? Did I do anything? Ooh. Well, it did something. Now we just have a little bit of see-through there. We eventually get this completely erased. Do that and then delete that. Ta-da! I'm going to call that fixed, and we're going to move on. All right, so I need to go up and get logs. My train is up there, and then we're going to come back down here, and we're going to go into the sawmill. Let's get ourselves set up for success for that, and we're going left there. Perfect. That is a zebra. Yeah, weird. All right, back into the train and up the mountain we go. You fired up, you're already in drive because I'm a terrible engineer. I think we already have the lights on, don't we? Yep, down for on. Makes sense. Off we go. With a mighty roar. Sort of. I tried to keep the grade around 2% going up to the logging camp, if I remember correctly. So it's not terrible. It kind of winds around a little bit. You can only go so tall on this dirt ballast, so I put in some timber where I could. Doesn't look too bad. I'm not a big fan of this circle of detail that surrounds us, but I understand the performance reasons for that. Maybe we can get some optimization in the future to get rid of that. Maybe it's 3%, I forget. I tried to be fairly consistent. So we'll wind our way up here. I'll show you the full way up, and then I'll cut out the trip back down. That's an old cut. I didn't fill that back in. That's when I was figuring out the track laying. The trick was not to have horizontal ends when you're coming down the slope. Otherwise, every time you join two sections of track, it makes that part level. And it makes everything weird. That's why this up here is weird. I need to redo this part at some point. Alright, we slow down a bit. We've got this big hump right here that I need to get rid of. I may fix that at some point. I don't want to slow down too much. I made that mistake before. Set up for straight through. That's perfect. I'm going to keep her at about 20 as we come through here. And set up to stop. And get some logs. There we go. I usually put the handbrake on and I'll let the brakes recover. While we're loading, double tap E or F to get back to first person, and we're off to the races. Okay, if you're not standing on a loading platform, that doesn't work. Up she goes. Alright, you've seen me load logs before. I'm going to load this up, get down to the sawmill, and we'll unload there, and we'll see what happens. Going to make boards, I'm guessing. Alright, we're flying down off the mountain. Start slowing down a bit because we got a curve coming up here. Some brakes on. Slow it down to around 40-ish. Time we hit that switch, I think. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it worked out. Ease off the brakes a bit. Try to get the external view going. We'll just drop down into the sawmill. And we can just back out of here and back through the Y and then straight onto the sell point. Might eventually build a track on out of here. That's another possibility. Really feel the weight of those logs. I like it. Alright, looks like we got George down here. Ready to take some logs. Go, handbrake. Release those. Double tap E. You know the drill. He has the same sign here. That'll surely get fixed, right? Oh, you can buy them here. I got you. Never mind. What's up, George? Yeah, I was just talking to George over there, and then I talked to George over there. We got lots of Georges. All right. If we click this to sell. Oh, they pay a lot more for logs. Almost twice as much. $15.09. Well, the price just changed. What? I should have sold. I didn't know the price has changed. What the heck? Why did the price change? That was weird. Did the weight go down? No. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll sell those, and then I assume at some point we get boards popping out somewhere. Oh, yeah, there they are, down at the end. All right, let's get the rest of these unloaded. They can turn those into boards for us. Now, I don't have to buy these, right? Or do I? Oh, I do. Interesting. So we're not going to make nearly as much money as I thought. We make our money selling the logs, it looks like. Because we make a lot more for logs here. I wasn't sure how this worked. I thought maybe we would just drop off the logs and pick up the lumber, but it looks like we're buying and selling here as well. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's sell those off. The price is plummeting. Those are already sold. And then that's per ton. That's $287 per ton to buy them here. I thought that's about what they were selling for. Do we even make any money on the lumber? That's 3 tons. Interesting. Let's fly over to the sell point. It is over here, I believe. Yeah, the animals spawn in the air. And when the player gets close, they plop down to the ground, so that's why there's elephants all over the place. Just flying around in the air. Like they just don't care. Yeah, so we have to buy them over there for $287. So we lose money selling the boards. Huh. Okay. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Can we just leave the boards there? It costs me money to to get rid of the lumber. Seems like that could use some balancing. I mean, we definitely make more money selling the logs here. That's cool. That kind of makes up for it, I guess. But we're losing like $30 a ton. Plus whatever fuel cost to get the lumber over there. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's got... It looks like it might be 1-to-1 as far as the piles. So we're just about all the way through. Yeah, we're just about all the way through a pile of logs. But it looks like we... Basically, any profit we get from the logs, we lose by buying back the lumber. So... Explain yourself, game. Why would I want to do that? Was the sawmill a waste of time? Looks like it is. Okay. So we lose, well, let's see. We brought 6 loads over, right? So if we lose $30 a ton, so that's $180 a ton times 6. Yeah, basically 180 times 6. So yeah, we lose a decent chunk of money. I'm not doing the exact math, but what's that, about $1,000? So we're making an extra 500. So we're losing a carload worth of lumber value by selling those. So we're only making profit off of 2 cars. That's my rough back of the napkin math. So that sucks. What else can we do to make money in this game? I think we can put down a passenger depot, but I don't know how that works. There's stations. I don't know if we have to build that, because on the pre-laid maps there's stations and there's passengers there, but I think from what I was reading on the Steam forums, the passenger stuff is very bare bones at the moment. They said the player had to place the passengers, but I don't know how you do that. Oh. There. Can you just place logs down? Oh. Okay. Fun. Cancel that. So yeah, well, there you go. There's the sawmill. It looks like the sawmill makes you lose. I mean, you're not losing money. You're still making money. You're still making money on the 2 of the cars, but if you're hauling those away, you're just throwing away money. So that's interesting. I'll have to do some research. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. It is early access, so, you know, stuff's got to be weird. We get 6.4 tons? We do. So it's 1-to-1. So I guess I could take a bundle over there just to do the math for me, but I could also get out a calculator, do the math. But anyway, yeah, buy high, sell low. not the greatest strategy. Anywho, that'll be it for this video. I think that's enough for now. We'll see how this plays out. I'm going to do some research and keep an eye on the forums. I think this game has a lot of potential. It just needs some more time to bake in the oven and get more features out. So, pretty cool stuff. Thanks as always for watching, folks. George and I will catch you in the next adventure. Take care.